Surya Henna cream is enriched with organic extracts of 15 herbs and plants used to treat and condition the hair. There is no ammonia, peroxide or other harsh chemicals that can cause allergic reactions. Henna strengthens the hair and protects from breakage. Okay, now we have Emer, who is going to, we've decided, we've had our consultation, she's been shampooed. Again, no conditioner being used. And we're going to use mahogany to try and bring up more of the reddish tones in her hair and also the deep character of the mahogany. It should be very similar to her own base tone as well, only with that extra bit of richness and warmth. And it just should help lift it. Again, you have to remember we can enhance colour, and that's what the main purpose of the Surya Brasil colour is, to enhance. Okay, so this time we're going to use the cream colour. You open your packet, you take it, it comes in a small little bottle. Again, the instructions are here. If you need, always read the instructions before you use. And enclosed is your thermal activator, and you're attached to the back of the instructions and the information are your rubber gloves. Okay. Now in this case you have a small little cap, resealable cap on the top of the bottle, and you remove it. In doing so then you snip the top off the bottle and you're left with just an applicator bottle. If you don't use the entire bottle, then you can in fact reseal it and put the top back on the bottle. It will keep for a year at least. So give it a little shake, and again we have to work, we take a comb, and again it's not that it'll be different than the powder in as much I'm just going to apply it through the hair, but I don't go crazy. Again, I have to make sure I cover all the hair, so I will be doing it in sections like the last time. Again, just take your rubber gloves. Okay, so I simply go along each section. So I generally do about a ½ inch section. I just pour it through, move it over. If you like, you could use a comb, just a section, or if you're doing it yourself at home, you can simply just go along, take another ½ inch section, moving along very tidily, you see, every ½ inch sections. By doing so, again, you're guaranteeing complete coverage. If I'm just taking an inch or 2 inch gap between each section, I won't be able to bridge the middle piece, so you will be left with patches with no colour. This way it guarantees. And again, over to this side. I go back as far as the crown, really, at the front. And around here. And you can check. I would always do, in this case, the hairline last, as you've got very fine little sensitive hairs here, and they will pick up the colour much quicker than the rest of the head. So even though you've massaged it through the rest of the head, you can rub in them last. Okay, and then we put the chin in, and we finally go through the back of the head. And again, you can do this yourself very easily, or if you have a friend, and just keep coming around in ½ inch sections. There's generally a lot of product in the bottle, so you should have some to spare. It'll do. You can't use too much of it anyway, so don't be afraid to put it on. And I've come all the way around now. And you notice I'm not just putting it on the top of the hair, I have to get right in under the hair. You have to get into the scalp, okay? And so when I've done all of that, I use like that, and we come back up. And now we massage the colour. You can come back up now. So now we're going to massage the colour through the roots. Around the whole head. Okay, and be very careful, you know, make sure you're massaging throughout, you're not jumping, because you don't, the one thing that looks terrible is patchy colour. You've got one bit with mahogany and the other's got, you know, grey. No. No, you have a dark brown and light brown, or you might have mahogany with that red hue going to it, and then you get a patch of hair that's just as brown, it's got no pigment in it, so it'll just look a little bit odd. And you just take your time, massage it through, and then you might as well, unless you want to, you can keep it. In our case, we're just going to use up the rest of the colour through the ends of the hair. Again, this colour will not interfere with the use of other colour prior or after. Very compatible. But the beauty of it is the condition and the shine of the hair is just wonderful. Okay, and again I'm just massaging it through. Now I do at this stage recommend that you use a wide toothed comb. Okay, a short toothed or tight toothed comb will strip the colour from the hair as you're combing it, whereas a wide toothed comb will allow it to distribute the colour through the hair rather than off hair. And if you get a little bit of colour, just rub it back onto the hair. And again, you can see now I'm taking in the hairline, the front pieces. Now do not be afraid to go right down onto the skin. It'll come off the skin, so it's better to have it right down, because if you don't get those little pieces at the front of the head, you will look like you have a dark or a regrowth area all around the hairline here. So always make sure you go right down, just you know, a centimetre onto the skin. Just so down here now. Okay, and just comb it then through it again, very gently, because if you go too fast you might get lots of colour splashing. Okay, and then you just pin the hair up and leave it to process. We're going to put in the thermal activator. The covering doesn't have to be put very tight, it's literally just to keep in the heat and get the head for its own heat. You don't have to use external heat. You could use a hairdryer or a hood dryer if you wanted to put over it, and it would just speed the process up and make the colour penetrate the hair even faster, because it'd be hotter and the cuticle or the outer layers of the hair would be open more. So, but this will work just perfectly as it is. Okay, thank you. See you later.
Thank you.
Okay, now we process for the full time, and we remove the thermal activator and take off all the clips. We're just going to rinse the colour now and rinse the Surya Brasil colour off until the water just runs clear. Do not use shampoo, do not use any detergents whatsoever to rinse. Just rinse until the water is clear, and then if you wish you could put a little bit of conditioner through the hair afterwards, although it won't need it because the colour is conditioning in itself. It's very high in protein because of the ingredients and the berries and beans and stuff, so it leaves the hair shaft very smooth and very shiny.
Oh, it's lovely.
But you see the lustre and the colour, you see what it's after doing to the grey? The grey is after turning into a fabulous highlight through the hair, you know?